In this third video on loci problems, we're going to look at loci when we are given instructions in terms of the argument. So for example, the argument of a certain complex number is pi over 4, for example. What does that look like when we plot the locus of points that have that property? Let's have a look. So let's think about what this means. It's saying the argument of a particular complex number is pi over 4. So what could that complex number be? We'll sketch an argand diagram and think which complex numbers have an argument of pi over 4. Well, it's any complex number where when you measure the angle from the real axis to your complex number, you get an angle of pi over 4, which is equivalent to 45 degrees. So what would that be? That would be anything along this line, right? Because that angle there is pi over 4. And it could be any complex number along this line, going on forever. So what we actually have here is what's called a half line. So it's a half line because it's, wait for it, half a line. It doesn't continue down here because these complex numbers down here, they didn't have an argument of pi over 4. They had an argument of this, which is minus 3 pi over 4. So it doesn't include that. That's why it's a half line. So arg z equals pi over 4. The locus of that is the half line starting at the origin with an angle of pi over 4 with the real axis. Okay, what could this mean then? Arg of z minus 3 equals pi over 4. Well, if it's arg of z minus 3, it just means we're measuring not from the origin, but from the point 3. So here's the point 3, and the reason why it's not minus 3 is what we're essentially saying is if you were to take your complex number and subtract 3, that is shift it back 3 units, then the argument would be pi over 4. So what we can do is we can just measure from this point and have the same half line. That is a half line where the angle, again with this horizontal, is pi over 4. So what that's really saying is if you have some complex number here, z, and then if you subtracted 3, so if you marched back 3 units this way, okay, and imagined it was here, then the argument of that complex number would be pi over 4. So that's why arg z minus 3 is the half line from the line 3. How about this then? So arg of z plus 2i minus I, well in this case it's equals minus pi over 3. So we do what we did in previous ones with circles and lines, and we say that's z minus, and it's minus 2 plus I. So that's where we're measuring from, and it's got to equal minus pi over 3. So we give ourselves an argand diagram. We measure from the point minus 2 plus I, and then we want an argument of minus pi over 3. So what we do here is we measure from the horizontal. So give yourself a little dotted horizontal line, and we want to be measuring an argument of minus pi over 3 from here. So that is equivalent to 60 degrees below this line. So that's going to be something like that. A half line, again, this angle here is pi over 3. Again, it's minus, that's why it's below rather than above, and this is the point minus 2 plus I. So this is a half line starting at the point minus 2 plus I, making an angle of pi over 3 radians below the horizontal. Okay, let's now think about regions. So shade the region represented by, what we've got here is that the argument of z minus 3 plus I is between pi over 6 and pi over 2. So let's do our same trick of saying, well, if it's z minus 3 plus I, it's z minus 3 minus I. And so what we have here is we're measuring from the point 3 minus I, so that's this point here. And then what we want is for its argument to be between pi over 6 and pi over 2. So pi over 6 from this point, if we think about our dotted horizontal here, is a line coming out like this, a half line here, and then pi over 2 is a line heading straight up, because that's an angle of pi over 2. What we get is this, where this angle here is pi over 6, and this angle here is pi over 2. So these are the lines where the argument is pi over 6 and pi over 2 respectively, but we want our argument to be somewhere between the two. And so the region we need to shade is this entire region between the two lines. So obviously I'm not going to go on forever, it's an infinite region, but it's this region between the two lines. Anything in this region has that property, because any complex number in this range, if you were to subtract 3 from it and then add I to it, you would still have an argument between pi over 6 and pi over 2. Okay, finally, a really challenging one. So sketch the locus of points represented by z minus 3 minus 6i is less than or equal to 3. So I've already done that here. That's just a circle with a centre, well, it's minus 3 plus 6i, and then less than or equal to 3. So it's a centre of 3, 6, which was here, and a radius of 3. So our locus of regions represented by that is all of the points inside this circle, including on its perimeter, because it's less than or equal to. So it's this entire disk. Okay, what about part B? So part B says find the smallest value of mod z in this region. So what we're saying here is we want to find the smallest distance of any point in this disk to the origin, right? Because mod z is just the distance to the origin. So where on this disk, or in this disk, are we closest to the origin? Well, it's going to be here, right? It's some point here. Now, it might feel like we then need to find the coordinates of that point, but we actually don't, and here's why. This point must be on the line from the origin to the centre of the circle, right? That will always be the closest point on this circle, or anywhere in the disk, to the origin. So we can use some nice properties here to find what this distance is, because we're interested in this distance here. And the reason we can do that is we know the radius of the circle is 3, so I already know that this is 3. And then I can also work out the distance from the centre to the origin. And the reason is, the distance from the centre of the circle to the origin is simply the square root of 3 squared plus 6 squared. That's just Pythagoras on that point. So that's the square root of 9 plus 36, which is root 45. And we can simplify that a little bit because that is 3 root 5. Now, 3 root 5 is the distance from the origin to the centre of the circle. And then the radius of the circle is 3, which means the distance that I really care about, this distance here, between here and here, is simply 3 root 5, the distance from the origin to the centre, minus the radius. And if I wanted to show off, I could factorise that, so 3 root 5 minus 1. So that is the smallest value of mod z in this region. What about the smallest value of arg z in this region? Well, the smallest argument is going to be this point here, the point where we just skim past as a tangent, because the argument of this here, which is this angle here, that is no other point in the circle has a smaller argument. So how can I figure out what this angle is? Well, again, I could try to use some coordinate geometry to find the coordinates of this point, and it's going to be doable, but it's also going to be really quite fiddly. An easier way to do it is the following. I can use the property that this is a right-angled triangle, and I know quite a lot about it already. I know, for example, that the length of this is 3, and I now know the length of this line. So I could work out this angle here, theta. Now, I could also work out this full angle here by using the coordinates of this point. I'll show you how to do that in a second. Then this argument here will simply be the large angle minus this small angle here. So let's do this one step at a time. Let's first work out theta, which is simply the angle in this triangle. So if I was to sketch that triangle out again, what have I got? Well, I've got a length of 3 here, and I've got a length of 3 root 5 here. So if I want to work out this angle theta here, I can use sine. I can say that sine of theta is 3 over 3 root 5. We can simply use our calculators to work this out, ensuring that we are in radians. Inverse sine of 3 over 3 root 5, and we get theta to be 0.46365. Let's keep it really accurate for now. Now, consider this triangle. The triangle between that point down here and the origin. If I think about that triangle, this one's quite easy because the circle centre was 3, 6. So that's got a length of 6, that's got a length of 3, and now I can find this here, which I will call, let's call it alpha. So the angle in here, I can use tan. I can say that tan of alpha is equal to 6 over 3, and that implies that alpha is inverse tan of 6 over 3, so inverse tan of 2, which is 1.10715. So what this means is the angle that I'm interested in, this one here, is simply alpha minus theta. So alpha minus theta is, well, I can just use those answers from above, and I get 0.6435. And there we have it. That is the minimum value, the smallest value of argz in this region. And I did it without ever finding the coordinates of this point, which would have been really awkward. I did it purely by using trigonometry with right-angled triangles. So that's an example of quite a challenging question involving arguments and modulus and circles and all sorts.